Higgins? Oh, this is the governor here. Look, number 86575 is due for release today, isn't he? Good. Send him up. I'd like to discharge him personally.
Morning, Major. Lovely day. I expect you're quite excited to be going out. They usually are.
I have stayed in better places. Oh, here, Holbers.
Yes, but not for 3 old years. Rent-free.
I prefer not to discuss it. I wish you wouldn't make such a to-do, folding those horrible things. I shall not be requiring them any further.
That's what they all says. But they get homesick, and back they come.
What a revolting thought.
You look quite the toff, don't you? You know, that suit might have been made for someone just your size.
It was, for me, Topham Savile.
Posh tie. Football club?
This is a Bleeker's Old Boys. Get you in anywhere.
Couldn't keep you out of here.
No, but it helped get me in. Well, shall we go?
Come in.
Number 864575 for discharge, sir.
All right. Bring him in.
Stand up.
Ah, Macquarie. Going out at last, what?
Rather. Looking forward to it. Cooking here's atrocious. So are the cigarettes.
Don't come back again, will you?
No, I shan't if I can possibly help it.
Rolling stones gather no moss. Honesty is the best policy.
Oh, and Satan finds jobs for empty hands. Could we take the rest as read?
Oh, as you will. Anyway, do try to find an honest job, won't you?
My dear fellow, I always do. Trouble is, I get pinched before payday.
That reminds me. Here's your regulation fare allowance.
Oh, thank you.
Obtaining money by tricks isn't an honest job. Taking advantage of people's ignorance. Oh, dash it all, man. It isn't cricket.
I suppose not. More like poker, huh?
Now listen, Macquarie. Think of your background, your upbringing, your parents, your childhood.
Oh, for heaven's sake, stop. You'll have me in nappies in a minute. You know, Stinker, you sound like a harmonium. Then you always did, even in the lower fourth. Now, if it weren't for blokes like me, what would happen to blokes like you? Half pay and a bungalow in Bognor. Stinker? Up school? Thank you, my man.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm Major Macquarie. Has my brother, Sir Duncan, been asking for me?
I don't think I know the gentleman, sir.
Well, possibly not. Just back from India, you know. Never mind. I'll wait.
Would you care for a drink while you're waiting, sir?
No, thank you. I'll just wait.
Very good, sir.
Lord Pillington been in?
Lord Pillington, sir?
Arranged to meet him here. My name's Binham Riley. Commander Binham Riley.
I am not familiar with his lordship, sir.
Didn't suppose you were. I merely asked if he'd inquired for me.
No, sir.
I'll wait.
Would you care for a drink, sir, while you are waiting?
When I want a drink, I'll order one. Confounded place, London. Somebody's always trying to sell you something.
Disgusting.
No place for a retired man of means.
Are you one of the idle rich as well?
Afraid so. A bit of a bind, isn't it?
Of being rich?
No, being idle.
Well, you want to put your money to work. Do as I do. Have a little flutter.
On what?
Oh, this and that. Stocks and shares.
That what you do?
Oh, all the time. As a matter of fact, I've got one or two very good little things going at the moment.
Is that so?
Yes, confidentially, I'm sitting on a gold mine.
And the shares will treble their value in a week.
That's... Who on earth told you?
Oh, as a matter of fact, I could sell you a couple of thousand.
Sorry, old boy. Overbought already.
Too bad. Why not have a cigar?
Oh, thanks awfully.
Barman's got plenty.
Inferior leaf, not worth smoking.
In that case, I won't offer to stand you one.
Oh, you two about again, hmm? Well, mind how you go, or we'll be renewing an old friendship.
Friend of yours?
Never seen him before. Seem to know you all right.
It was you he spoke to.
He spoke to both of us, and you know it. That was Detective Inspector Shearing of the Yard.
Really?
Come off it. When did you get out?
Yesterday. And you?
2 weeks ago, and business is terrible.
3 years just for trying to sell a gold mine.
I only got 2. But in my case, it was a tin mine. Still, nice meeting you.
Have a drink before you go.
Splice the old main place. Love to.
Well, cash me a check for $5 and I'll buy you one.
Lend me 10 bob and I'll buy them.
Sorry. Thanks for the compliment.
Oh, well, anchor's away.
Just a minute. I've thought of something.
Hmm?
Come on.
Yes, sir.
2 champagne cocktails.
Very good, sir.
I say, steady.
This one never fails.
That ruddy cop's in there having lunch.
I don't give 2 hoots. I know what I'm doing. You just follow me. Well, here's the crime.
That will be 25 shillings, please, sir.
I beg your pardon.
£1 and 5 shillings, please, sir.
I've never been so insulted in all my life. What sort of a place is this, interrupting gentlemen when they're about to drink?
Piece of gross impertinence.
You'll hear more of this, my man.
Sorry, sir.
Well, we haven't even started yet. I've a jolly good mind to buy this place if it's only for the satisfaction of booting you out. Well, as I was saying when so rudely interrupted, success. Ah, not bad at all. Haven't had one of those for some time. Same again, only colder.
Blow me down. Smoked salmon.
Weakness of yours.
Can't resist 'em.
Same here. You leave this to me.
That will now be 50 shillings, please, sir.
When I want my bill, I'll ask for it. My good man, are these sandwiches fresh?
Smoked salmon, sir. 5 shillings each.
I asked if they were fresh.
Oh, yes, sir. Quite fresh.
Not worth a pinch of salt unless they are.
There is no fresher smoked salmon sandwich in the whole of London, I bet you my life.
Look fresh to you.
Impossible to tell. Have to bite it to make sure.
Then bite it, please, sir.
Very well, if you insist.
Well,
Don't rush me. Certainly rather odd.
what's odd?
Fish is odd. In fact, I question whether it's salmon at all. More like cod.
I say steady. It's a pretty serious allegation in a place like this.
Only saying what I suspect, old boy.
I myself personally will swear that the fish is a salmon.
I'll settle this. Quite right. Certainly is odd. Indubitably. Pretty serious for this place. If I get fish poisoning.
Then I too will be poisoned.
Prove nothing. These peasants have got innards like old boots. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
If I take nil, I'll issue a writ. And this is for the public analyst.
Pardon, madame. Please, one moment, please. What is the cause of this outrage? You have a complaint?
Ptomaine poisoning.
In my restaurant? Impossible!
Salmon's filthy and probably lethal.
This I cannot believe. I have dealt with the same firm of salmon poachers for years. Perfection. Perfection!
We'll see what the Ministry of Health has to say about that.
And the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries.
No, please. There must be no scandal. I assure you, the salmon is blameless.
I'm having this analyzed.
I'm sure we can settle this amicably.
In what way?
Give the gentleman the money back, please.
But they have not paid. 50 shillings for drinks, 2 pounds for sandwiches, without the tip.
All right, give me the bill. I'll pay it. It'll cost you more in the long run.
It's on the house. Now, please, go.
Very well, but if I'm taking nil...
You will not be as sick as I am right now. Please.
Ready?
Not a bad little place, actually.
Signor, Madame Milliard is on the way.
Good day, gentlemen. Good day. Come some other time. Not too quick.
I go.
Odd.
Stop! Save! Madame!
Ritzy, they were magnificent. Do you know they risked their lives for my poor little handbag?
But-
Such courage, such presence of mind. The man was obviously a convict or a criminal, armed to the teeth. And they tackled him with their bare hands.
Magnifique.
You must salute our heroes.
Champagne for everybody.
It's not the value of the thing, it's the noble thought behind the deed. You saw a poor defenseless woman attacked, and you came to her rescue without any thought to your own safety. There must be something I can do for you in return. I would like you both to come and dine with me tonight.
We've done nothing to deserve this great honor, madame.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're much too modest. But you will see that I, Maxime Milliard, knows how to be grateful.
Dashed attractive little woman, if you ask me.
Well, I don't ask you. I can see for myself. How on earth does one manage to put on weight in jail?
Too many potatoes, not enough fox hunting.
Nice of you to ask me to stay, Major.
Oh, that's all right.
Lucky you to get your old bed sitter back.
No, the Baron won't be using it for 4 years. Forgery, you know.
Good Lord. Whatever next? By the way, how do you suppose this Madame Milliard intends to reward us? Gold watches, checks, huh?
I'm surprised at you, Binham Riley.
Why?
I didn't think you were the type of chap to take presents from women.
Take present from anyone when you're broke, old boy. Disabled vessel, needs a tow and all that. Besides, you heard what she said. That little trinket of hers is worth thousands.
Once a gentleman, always a gentleman. That's my motto. And you'd be well advised to adopt it. You ready? Oh. You know, it's quite a stroll from Camden Town to Knightsbridge.
I say, Macquarie. Forget what I said just now. There's a good chap.
Already done it. Absolutely.
Thanks.
Over there, please, Muskrat. Thank you, Muskrat. We will look after ourselves.
Thank you, madam. Mr. Wantage telephoned. He will call later.
Very well, Muskrat.
Very good, madam.
It's so much cozier to be informal. Commander, will you see to the liqueur?
Oh, I say rather.
Coffee?
No coffee, thank you. Just brandy.
Black?
Thank you.
By the way, is this a portrait of an ancestor?
No, it's my late husband, Augustus.
Oh, indeed. A fine face.
He died last year. He was only 79.
cut off in his prime, eh?
Was he in business?
Didn't you know? It was he who invented Granny's globules.
Not the perfect pills for stomach ills.
But naturally.
By Jove, my favourite song. Take Granny's globules, a bottle for 3 bob. You'll soon be fighting fit. Ole!
Our old M.O. swore by them. Used to issue them instead of number 9s. When in doubt, give them grannies.
And you, inherited the business?
I was his wife. And he did try to keep up to my standards. Poor Augustus. It was overwork that killed him.
Big responsibility. The business, I mean. Must be worth $1 million.
3.
And, who's taking care of things now? In the business.
I am chairman. But what can a poor defenseless woman do against those wolves?
Wolves? Where? I'll deal with them.
By Jove, so shall I. Who are the blackguards?
The shareholders. I simply cannot control them.
By gad, I'd like to have the handling of them. 20 mile a day, full marching order.
And a double dose of grannies. I teach them.
I need strong, courageous men so very badly.
Quite understandable.
I'm tempted to ask, but no, you would be insulted.
Insulted, man? Nonsense. We're past it.
Anything for you, dear lady.
But you are a professional gentleman. Making money wouldn't appeal to you?
I wouldn't go as far as to say that. We have had our little commercial adventures, haven't we, Ben and Riley?
Rather. Major here kept his last job for 3 years.
Oh, do tell me about it.
Oh, nothing to tell. A government appointment, you know. Rather not talk about it. Top secret and all that.
But, you are at liberty now.
Huh? Liberty? Oh, yes, absolutely free.
Yes, we've both just been let out. They're off. They're loose.
Our contracts have terminated.
That's it in a nuthouse.
Shall. In point of fact, we are looking for a new financial interest.
Oh, you wish to invest capital.
Well, we don't insist upon it. As a matter of fact, our capital's nearly all oversubscribed as it is. But we shouldn't mind earning a little money, you know, just for the fun of it.
Anything for a laugh?
I wonder.
We're pretty highly thought of in certain circles. Financial, of course. Put over some very big deals.
Gentlemen, advice is what I need.
Then you've got it. I advise you to give me your complete confidence.
Very well, I will. I'm considering the appointment of joint managing directors. One to handle finance.
Finance? Oh, right down my street.
And the other, exploitation.
Exploitation. My cup of tea. Absolutely my cup of tea.
As chairman, I can make such appointments without any reference to the board. You would both be my personal staff officers. Is it possible that you would be interested?
Interested. Delighted.
Steve up and ready for sea.
Oh, that's wonderful. Then tomorrow morning you must come here and meet Basil Wantage, my solicitor, and we'll arrange everything. Oh, gentlemen, you made me so happy.
And the land was flying down below, and the land was flying down below. Oh, Drake.
Aren't you complicating your life a little unnecessarily?
What do you mean?
Oh, rigging up that contraption.
Contraption? Havoc! Takes me back to the good old days of the gun deck.
Got something to say to you.
Huh?
If you're cherishing any notions of robbing Maxine Milliard, forget it.
Just what I was about to say to you.
Little woman needs protecting, so none of the old malarkey. Don't forget.
And don't you forget either.
I'll be watching you.
And I'll be watching you, too. Best attractive little woman.
Oi,
Huh?
don't fly too high.
I'll fly as high as I blinking well choose. Good night.
Good night.
Good evening, Muspratt.
Good evening, sir. Mr. Wantage, madam.
Hello, Maxie.
Oh, Basil. Oh, darling, what's the matter? Something happened?
Plenty. I've been having a drink at the club with your bank manager.
Oh, dear. Is he very cross?
It doesn't have to be cross, merely firm.
Overdrawn again?
Oh, again.
Well, can I help it if my husband dies and leaves me a miserable 10,000 a year, while millions go to the shareholders?
You could try to economize.
By wearing ready-made mink coats, I suppose. Think how dowdy I'd look. Oh, Basil, you're a lawyer. Why can't you do something to get rid of those horrible shareholders?
Because mass murder is illegal.
You don't love me. You do love me.
Just a baby. A soft, cuddly, expensive baby.
Am I?
I love you and I want to marry you.
But Basil, if I marry you, then I'll lose all my money.
Old Scrooge certainly tied you hand and foot.
About the only thing he was good at. Oh, Basil, I couldn't live without money, could I?
No, darling.
Something must be done to get control of the business. Now think. Suppose we frighten the shareholders, start a panic, buy in the shares cheap, corner the market. How much would we get?
With luck, about 10 years apiece.
But if we got somebody else to do the dirty work for us.
What, be back now for the rest of our lives?
No. The way I've got it worked out, there'd be nothing like that at all.
You mean you could get a share panic started and get away with it?
I'm absolutely sure.
Without getting ourselves involved in a conspiracy charge?
Absolutely. In fact, it's practically arranged. What do you think of that?
I don't think you'll find anyone stupid enough to stick his neck into that kind of news.
No? Well, I found two.
What?
Two very fine, noble, honorable gentlemen. And, I've got a feeling that they would do a great deal for me.
Now, what the blazes have you been up to?
Tell me, darling, how old does a man have to be before he prefers a hot water bottle?
With you, no man could ever get as old as that.
Then you needn't worry. I'll corner the market.
We'll corner the market.
This way, gentlemen. If you will wait a moment, I will tell Mrs. Millard you are here.
Thank you. Well, I impressed her all right. Bet she had sweet dreams.
Yes, all about me.
Still flying high.
Well, looks like business.
Or, food.
My gallant knight. Now, I would like you to meet Mr. Basil Wantage, my solicitor, Major Macquarie,
How do you do?
How'd you do?
and Commander Binham Riley.
How do you do?
Mrs. Millard's told me how you tackled this armed desperado.
Didn't give him a chance to reach for his gun.
Run-of-the-mill stuff for me, you know.
Oh, so modest. Didn't I tell you?
You did indeed. Now, Mrs. Millard's head of a considerable commercial undertaking.
Grannies know all about it.
Take it myself. Most effective. Especially in the dog watch.
Splendid. Now, if you gentlemen would care to take a chair.
Oh, thank you.
This is, of course, an informal conference. As requested by Mrs. Millard, I've prepared a draft letter of engagement appointing you in a super-executive capacity, ex officio, of course, and strictly pro tem, joint managing directors of Granny's Globules Limited. I trust you follow me?
Follow you. Miles ahead of you.
Yeah, second that.
But I haven't started.
So alert and shrewd. You can come to the point, Basil.
Yes, splendid. Somehow I knew I was in the presence of experts.
Specialists.
Now, Mrs. Millard has been devoting her life and her fortune to the running of an old-fashioned and inefficient business for the benefit of thousands of greedy and ungrateful shareholders.
Blackguards.
The general manager, Mr. Grimshaw, has no idea of the value of time. I'm sure you gentlemen appreciate the value of time.
Time. We know all about time. We've done it.
Well, the commander means that we've done so many things of which time is the essence. Carry on, Wastage.
Wantage. Unfortunately, Mr. Grimshaw is on the side of the shareholders. He absolutely refuses to spend 1 penny on modern improvement.
Shame.
He's a good man, but slovenly and undisciplined.
No cure for that, by Jove.
So the rot is spreading throughout the factory, which brings us to you, gentlemen. Naturally, one cannot expect a lady of Mrs. Millard's delicate feelings to reorganize the whole business, can one?
Outrageous suggestion.
So you are being given carte blanche to bring your own ideas into operation. You can, of course, supply the usual references.
Dare say I could get a favourable report from the governor.
You mean the Governor General, don't you?
Of course, who else?
References? What's all this talk of references, Basil? I've had all the references I need.
Thank you, dear lady. You have set our minds at rest.
Then it only remains for us to agree the remuneration. We are prepared to say £5,000.
Did you say or pay 5,000?
We'll pay it. £5,000 a year.
Each. Gentlemen, isn't that enough?
My dear lady, no gentleman desires to be paid for serving a member of the gentle sex. It goes against the grain.
But, as we shall have to abandon certain other enterprises...
Quite right, Major. After all, the shareholders will have to pay in the long run. They've had fat dividends for quite long enough.
Now then, if you would care to sign here, Commander.
Certainly. Oh, I seem to have left my pen in one of my other suits, Macquarie.
Afraid I'm in the same predicament.
Allow me.
Oh, thank you.
Now you, Major. Thank you. Now, gentlemen, if you'd care to meet me at the Porthwarden Grill for lunch, we can drive down to the factory this afternoon.
Remember, you'll be doing this for me. We'll be seeing a great deal of each other.
I could never see too much of you, my dear. By Jove.
Au revoir, dear lady.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, Basil, you are so good.
Oh, I pity poor old Grimshaw. I've never seen a bigger pair of prize buffoons.
We've landed them properly.
Hook, line, and stinker.
Now, what's Her Highness's travelling gin palace doing here? And who are those two gooks with young Spilly Wantage?
What do they look like, Mr. Grimshaw?
Something out of the waxworks. They would turn up just that I'm sweating on the top line to get that extra shipment out to Australia.
Perhaps they only want to see round the factory.
You know as well as I do. Anyone wanting to see other grannies has to make an appointment with me. Mr. Augustus laid that down 20 years ago.
Aren't you going to put your jacket on?
Why? Shirt's clean enough for Thursday? Elsie, don't you ever be a snob.
It's only that I looked up your stars in the paper this morning. You are Taurus the bull, aren't you?
Ah, load of bunk.
Well, it says Taurus people should tread warily.
That refers to people with corns. Mine are all right.
And here is our general manager in person, Mr. Grimshaw.
Come in, Mr. Wantage. Oh, you are in. I didn't hear you knock.
I've brought these two gentlemen to see you.
Well, that's very kind of you, but right now we're very busy.
I'm sure these two gentlemen will make you even busier. Major Macquarie and Commander Binham Riley.
Pleased to meet you. Now, Mr. Wantage, you know the rules for looking over the factory?
Our newly appointed joint managing directors. They're going to reorganize the business from top to bottom. So all you have to do is, as you're told. Well, gentlemen, I must dash back to town. I'll send the car back for you.
Thank you. Pretty grim, I must say.
Every indication of an idle ship. That locker's US.
Now, gentlemen, let us get this quite straight.
Ask permission before you address your commanding officer. Well, Commander, what do you think?
I'd put straight into dry dock.
Strikes me that reinforcements have arrived just in time. Look at this room. Look at him.
How dare you talk to Mr. Grimshaw like that? Why, he's the lifeblood of this business. Every year he gets a vote of thanks from the shareholders, and I'm not going to stand here and see him insulted. If you're coming in, I'm going out. For good.
Rank insubordination.
And desertion in the face of the enemy.
You shouldn't have let her walk out. Her father's one of the shareholders. You'll have him talking.
Talking? Who to?
To the other shareholders, and they won't like it.
Well, let them jolly well lump it. Who do they think they are?
It's their money.
I'll worry about that. You worry about Commander Binham Riley.
Ever serve in the forces?
No.
No what?
I was never in the forces.
Why not?
Because I had flat feet.
Insolence, eh? We'll see about that. Look at this ship. Look at this deck. Look at yourself. Get the whole lot swabbed down, brassed up and shipshape. At once. Yourself included.
Now, you listen to me. This is not one of your tin pot ferry boats. This is a highly successful business with a £4 million turnover. And right now, you're holding up a shipment of $250,000 of Granny's globules to Australia.
Send them by air.
Good grief.
Bridge, it's for you.
Hello, Grimshaw here. No, I'm held up for the time being. Hold on, I'm on the other line. Well, all right, switch over to number 16 packing battery. Cut 3 and 4. Yes, start loading what you got already. I'll be with you as soon as I can. Hello. Yes, Charlie. Go over to labelling and corking. Yes, labelling and corking until the cartons arrive. Yes, I'll be right along. Grimshaw here. All right, Harry. Well, I'll tell you what. Put the night drivers on the next shift and stand by tomorrow's drivers for tomorrow night. All right, Harry. Bye. Now, sir, what next?
Tell your friends not to phone you in business hours.
Hey!
Call out the guard!
Why is it honest people are always so stupid?
And unattractive. Darling, I'm so glad you're such a bad man.
Those 2 old war relics said about Grimshaw from the start. It was a blitz.
And Grimshaw has the shareholders behind him.
Quite. Exit Grimshaw, stampede of shareholders.
Oh, good grief, I must change that record. There, that's better.
That one's all right.
Basil, how do you like the hot climate?
Very much, thank you. How do you?
I love it. Basil, when we get our money, why bother to run this silly old business? Why not sell out and go to Rio?
Moonlight
And pink champagne.
and a bottle of Granny's, just in case.
Oh, you're horrible.
I'll get it. Hello, Wantage here. No, I'm afraid Mrs. Millard's not yet returned.
Now, listen, Mr. Wantage, this has got to stop. You don't know what you've done bringing those fellows into the business.
But, Mr. Grimshaw, I would have thought you'd have welcomed their help. But they're such charming people and a great asset to the firm.
Well, I shall have to talk to Mrs. Milliard. When will she be in?
Now, look here, Mr. Grimshaw, take my advice. Fall in with the new order of things and let the shareholders look after themselves.
Well, if you're seeing her later, you tell her that they'll have the business on the rocks inside of a month. They've interfered with production today. We've missed the shipment to Australia. First time in the history of the firm. If this gets to the shareholders, I won't be responsible for the consequences. Now, please, Mr. Wantage, you have to do something about it immediately.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Grimshaw. I cannot intervene. No, sorry. Got Grimshaw absolutely dancing.
Then let us go and dance. Somewhere exclusive, expensive, and intimate.
Miss, same again, please.
You'll have got you, sir.
Thank you.
can hardly believe it. Nothing of this sort has ever happened to Granny's.
Mr. O'Connor, you're a journalist. You're on the Financial Express. You have your ear to the ground.
25 years in the street, Mr. Grimshaw.
Quiet. Tell me, if you had shares in Granny's and you heard that the business was falling to bits, what would you do about it?
Sell my shares before the panic started.
Exactly. And that's what would start a panic, right?
Absolutely. I can't remember a single Granny share ever coming on the market.
Naturally, when folks are on a good thing, they stick to it.
Here you are, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Mark you, this is in strict confidence.
Naturally.
Not a word about it in your paper.
What do you take me for, Mr. Grimshaw?
That's a good chap. I knew you were more gentleman than journalist. Cheers.
Major Macquarie and Commander Binham Riley, sir.
Oh, ask them to come in, will you please?
This way, gentlemen.
Morning, Wanstead. Wantage. We're glad to see you. Join me out here. It's nice and sunny.
Oh, I say, thanks awfully.
Cigarette?
No, only you cigars, as a matter of fact.
Thank you very much.
But as it's so early in the morning, maybe.
I gather you've made quite an impression on Grimshaw.
Oh, not a bad sort of chap. Needs whipping into shape, you know.
We're the fellows to do it.
Yes, I'm sure of that. Any other problems?
Problems? No, just called in to clear up a small matter of salaries, you know.
Well, I thought we'd done all that. 5,000 a year, each.
When's payday?
Payday.
It's merely that we wish to advise our bankers.
Oh, I'll advise your bankers. Who are they?
Oh, couldn't dream of troubling you.
Not at all. It's a pleasure. Just give me the name of your bank.
Oh, they wouldn't care for that.
Why not?
Well,
Hate publicity, private bank, old family concern, just one or two wealthy clients.
and ourselves.
You just tell us how the money's to be paid. We'll do the rest.
Quarterly checks. All right?
Quarterly.
Checks?
You'll get your first payment in about 2.5 months' time.
Soon as that. How time flies.
Of course, if you need a little money, I could ask Mrs. Milliard.
Of course not. Never heard of such a thing. We're always good for a thou or two, aren't we, Binham Riley?
Oh, yes, rather. Sell a few shares. You interested in tin mines?
Binham Riley, I think we might be late for the factory. Goodbye, Wandsworth.
Yes? Yes, I'm terribly sorry, Sir James. Will I be obliged if you kindly tell the shippers it won't happen again? I will see to it personally. You can look upon it as a technical hitch.
This should have all been done hours ago.
Quiet, I'm speaking to Australia House.
I'll take it. Joint Managing Director here, Cobber. Take no notice of our flaming General Manager. He's doolally. Absolute wowzer. Leave it to me and everything will be dinky-die. There you are. He's rung off. Perfectly satisfied. Got to speak to these people in their own language.
That was Sir James Harrison. Never been to Australia in his life.
Then it's high time he went.
Hoy! How dare you speak to your superior officer in that manner? Now, Grimshaw, to work. First things first. Now, the factory canteen.
Well, what about it?
Much against our will, we have decided personally to sample everything supplied to the workers.
Oh, you have?
I'm a much is on its stomach, you know. We'll start off with bacon and eggs, kippers, kedgeree, kidneys on toast, smoked haddock, a small but succulent steak with mushrooms and tomatoes, then maybe a small mixed grill, and finish with coffee toast and marmalade. Then we'll discuss a little matter of luncheon.
Oh, you will? Our employees are going to be well and adequately fed.
We're going to knock the stuffing out of that old canteen right away.
You're going to have a bit of a job.
Oh, why?
Because the canteen was closed 2 years ago by popular vote.
What do our people do for food?
They bring their own.
Oh.
Something up?
Just a slight spasm.
Have a Granny's.
Things are moving fast, George. Very fast.
Not too fast, I hope. Risky job, this. Ugly word, conspiracy.
Forget it. Those two stooges of ours will take any rap that's coming. Your job's to collar the shares as they come on the market.
Well, as long as the police don't smell a rat.
Oh, Basil, I've had the most wonderful bath. Oh, I thought you were alone.
Oh, don't run away on my account. I've got a daughter as old as you.
Come on down, darling. This is Mr. Mellinger.
Mr. Mellinger, you're the gentleman who's going to rob all the shareholders for me.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Of course you are. For me,
It is Mrs. Millard's intention to bring this moth-eaten old ruin of a factory up to date.
Started with a slap-up canteen.
Which nobody wants.
Speak for yourself. I intend to introduce a new system of free meals. No food in a factory like this. Treat you better in jail.
Hello? Running into fog.
No, that was the factory hooter for lunch.
Give it a little luncheon party?
No, just myself. No doubt you gentlemen will be eating elsewhere. You'll pardon me if I don't talk, but I only take an hour for lunch.
Eating for a whole hour. Onions, how revolting. You'll have a seizure.
Oh, no, not as long as I take grannies.
I'm going for a walk.
It's worse than feeding time at the zoo.
Go round with the gas works. It'll give you an appetite. My best respects.
I say, little girl, you give me that bit of bread and I'll bring the ducky wuckies right up here.
No, thank you very much. They're already here.
No wonder they never made you a colonel. You know, you're an absolute clot. When Wantage asked if we needed cash, why couldn't you up and say so?
Said he'd ask Mrs. Millyard. I suppose you're the sort of type who wouldn't mind borrowing from a woman.
Well, of course not. Simply isn't done. Still, we can't live on air until next quarter day.
Right, your husband. Got an inspiration.
No, not another one.
Now, top executives like ourselves don't pay their restaurant bills, they sign them.
Only if the restaurant wallah knows them.
Precisely. That's why we're going to see our old friend, Mr. Ritzy. Come along, me old beachcomber. We're on velvet.
Evening, Muskrat. Mrs. Millyard in?
I think she's upstairs, sir.
Thanks. Maxie, darling. Look what I found.
Is that the Financial Express? Something about us?
I'll say there is. Look what O'Connor has to say in his column. The Army and Navy move in at Granny's. There are whispers that the recent appointment of Major Rory Macquarie and Commander Binham Riley as joint managing directors of Granny's forecasts a complete reorganization of this prosperous concern. Could this mean that the high dividends paid from time immemorial are in for a severe cut? And are the shareholders going to like it?
Oh, marvelous! Oh, this really will start a panic.
And quicker than we thought, if I know our shareholders.
The file, sir.
All right, put them there. Thanks.
Our old friends, the Major and Commander, seem to have gone into partnership.
Looks as though they're getting into the big time.
In more ways than one. Do you want me to check up on them, sir?
No, thanks. I'd like to deal with this one. That's funny. She must have forgotten it.
What's the trouble, Grimshaw?
My pork pie is missing. A whole pork pie. My missus made it. I could have sworn she packed it.
Perhaps she realized you eat too much and has unpacked it.
This is no joking matter. Either it's been forgotten or someone's been at my hamper.
Mice, would you suggest?
No, mice that leave crumbs. Wasteful little devils.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I have my suspicions.
Well, if you draw a blank, we'll send for the yard. Oh, Mrs. Grimshaw, I'm certain she's a charming woman.
She's a darn good cook.
Hey, I didn't like that crack much of yours about calling in the yard.
Make as many cracks as I like about the yard. They've nothing on us. If Detective Inspector Shearing walked into this room at this moment and said...
Morning, boys. I traced you through the columns of the Financial Express.
Oh, why?
Oh, no friends like old friends. Don't you agree?
Do you know something? I think this character's under the impression he's kidding somebody.
Only himself, surely.
I'm not here entirely on pleasure, you know.
Well, then we mustn't detain you.
No, and I won't detain you. Unless I have to. That depends largely on both of you. You seen this article, the one at the Cross?
No. I say, Bill and Riley, we're in the news.
I want to know what it means.
Means just what it says. The old hulk's having a refit and we're in command. Duly authorized by the competent authority.
Who's that, the shareholders?
You dear old-fashioned thing.
When their lordships decide to dry dock a man of war, do they have to ask permission of every snivelling little taxpayer?
No, certainly not.
Answered yourself, haven't you? Now, suppose you get off the poop deck before you accidentally get your bottom scraped.
I'll be seeing you.
I'm coming. Tell your mistress I must see her at once.
Is she expecting you, sir?
Quick, man, at the double!
What is the matter?
It's the Major, madam.
Turn! Dismiss!
You may go, Master Pratt.
Apologize for surprise attack. Situation serious. Very.
What happened?
Police at the factory.
Police!
All my fault. Joined your company under false colors.
What are you talking about?
My only excuse is my deep and tender regard for you. Should have had the decency to have cleared out.
Are you trying to tell me you have some guilty secret?
In a way, yes. Should never have taken that job at Granny's with my record.
Record? What kind of a record? Surely not a criminal record.
Slight technicality over some gold shares.
Go on. What happened?
Tons of shares. No gold.
So?
They gave me 3 years. Only just come out.
And now the police have found out that you're running the factory.
Afraid so. They hound you for life.
It's a great pity you didn't tell me this earlier.
Couldn't. Fell in love with you at first sight. Know how you feel for me, too. Seen it in your eyes. Maxine, let's go away together. Anywhere. Eastbourne, even St. Leonard's. And leave the world behind.
What?
I can't go on living without you.
Oh, you poor man. You are distressed now. You sit right here and I'll get you some brandy.
Thanks awfully.
I've got something very special here. But for your honorable confession, I might not have heard about this in time.
Oh, honor of the regiment, you know, and all that.
Now you drink this right down and you'll forget all your troubles.
Very kind of you. Thank you. By Jove. That's touched the spot. By the way, did I ever tell you about the time I was in Nepal? Regimental dinner. Old CO was Worthington Pretty, I think it was. We'd just started the fish course, I remember, and... fish was called Grimshaw.
You stupid fool!
Maxine, it started. Granny shares are beginning to come on the market. George here's got all his hooks up.
Shortening the price every minute.
What's the matter, darling? What's that? Oh, what happened?
He came here and told me he'd done time.
Oh, no.
For fraud. He's a con man.
My sainted aunt, this is all we need.
The police have already been to the factory, so I slipped him a Mickey Finn.
Clever girl. George, get back to the office and grab every share you can.
But, Basil, I don't like it.
We'll be all right as long as we keep this gook out of sight. Now, upstairs with him quick.
You take his feet, I'll take his head.
Thank goodness we've still got Commander Binham Riley.
I wonder.
Where are you going, Grimshaw?
I'm going to London to address a meeting of the shareholders.
You no authority to do that.
I'm a shareholder myself.
Your place is here.
I quit.
Blasted deserter. Where in the name of Neptune's the Major?
I know what I'd like him to be.
Oh. Well, at least you can do something about these.
You do it.
Oh. Excuse me, ma'am. Permission to come aboard?
Commander Bingham Riley.
Regret to report, ship's aground.
Aground?
Grimshaw's deserted. Whole ship's company is taken to the boats.
You mean the factory's closed?
Scuppered. Tried to keep steering way, ma'am, out of respect and admiration for you.
Dear Commander.
Name's Lancelot.
Call me Maxine.
Oh, I say, may I? But no. First, I have a little confession to make.
Oh?
Had a visit from the police yesterday.
Go on.
Got into a bit of a scrape over some tin mines in the Hebrides. Silly, I didn't know there weren't any. Went inside. 2 years. All over now, of course. I say, don't hate me for this, will you?
Oh, of course not, you poor man. You must be completely distracted. Now, you stay right here and I'll get you a nice, stiff brandy.
Factory's shut, sir, and our 2 birds seem to have flown.
Yes, and shares are avalanching. Time we were moving. Sharing. I'm on my way. Come on, Brown.
Never mind about that, George. Keep on buying.
But Basil, you've cornered 75% of the shares as it is.
I want the lot.
But this is flagrant conspiracy.
I know that, but it can never be proved without your evidence. Go on, buy every blooming share.
Now, look here, Basil. Yes, I know I'm your broker, but I don't like it. What? All right. But remember, you said it.
Well, thanks for your cooperation, Mr. Mellinger. You've saved yourself a lot of trouble.
By tonight, you'll own Granny's.
And by tomorrow night?
We will have sold out to Consolidated for £1 million. And then, Rio.
Mm-hmm.
It's 11:30, and here is the news summary.
Oh, have a heart.
America has launched another space rocket. At home, dealings in the shares of Granny's Globules Limited have ceased. In view of information received by Scotland Yard, all these transactions may be declared null and void. A woman was found strangled.
It's Mellinger. He's ratted on us.
What are we going to do?
Run for it. Upstairs, pack a bag as quick as you can.
Taxi, sir.
Where are they? We've got to see them.
Mrs. Millard and Mr. Wantage have just gone out.
They blowed for a yarn. They're here, and we want to see them. I'm the new managing director of Granny's, and this is a deputation of shareholders. Tell them that.
But they're not here.
Then we will wait. Come in, everybody.
What's going on here? Where am I? Wake up!
Yes. Oh, thank goodness. At sea at last. Oh, God.
Hostile tribesman.
Shall
Get
I
up.
make the sound of this, or what?
Oh, that's all right. I'm not going to get away with it. Come on.
Do something.
Let's make a recce.
When all this comes out, you'll find that we've been the victims of an attempt to sabotage our business. There is the founder of the firm. We shall carry it on. Those two boobies they planted on us did far more damage. Hello, what have we here?
Deck's clear for action.
Aye, aye. Bandits fixed.
Up guards and at 'em.
Full steam ahead.
What are we waiting for?
Now you can have regular meals again.
Ask Mrs. Milliard.
She'll speak up for us.
Mrs. Milliard is going to be far too busy speaking up for herself.
Maxie.
Darling.
You cheap, miserable crooks!
Listen, you two. Why don't you go out and get yourselves lost in the crowd?
What? You mean?
See you again, sir.
You see what I see.
Smell it. Say, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Nice hot dog, sir. Yeah, sir. Nice hot dog, sir.
Leave this to me.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Nice hot dog, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
My good man, tell me, these hot dogs, are they fresh?
Not worth a pinch of salt unless they are.
Fresh? I've been selling these hot dogs for 20 years.
Never account for their rather tired.
Tell the pills, I've got a reputation.